All right, guys. Is VFS again. You know how we do it. All right. So today is Sunday, and today is 5th of July. So any moment from now, we're going to have the market open. So we have to prepare for what's the market, and let's see what the market got for us in this coming week. All right. So what do we got? What do we got? What do we have for next week? We have, like as usual, we have pounds CHF, pounds USD, pounds CAD, pounds AUD, pounds NZD, pounds GPY. That's the GBPs plus good. So that's what we're going to be looking at for this week. Now, trade recap for last week. Okay, let me say for last month. Actually, last month we have a couple of couple of wins and couple of losses. All right, so we have two trades open from last week. From last month. That's the pounds CHF and the pounds CAD. And then for the first week of July, right? July, yeah. First week of July, we took go trade. So all trades are actually still in favor. So let's just hope the markets actually continue in bias. So what do we have for the week? Starting from pound CHF. So before we do that, don't forget, make sure you subscribe to my Telegram channel. Also subscribe to my YouTube, and also make sure you follow me on X. All right. So pound CHF. Let's dive into business. No time. Okay, you know how we do it, right? So we start our analysis from where? From the weekly time frame, right? So pound CHF on the weekly time frame. Pound CHF, GBP, Swiss francs. All right. So pound CHF on the weekly time frame. Hope this thing is recording. All right. So pound CHF on the weekly time frame. What do we have? We still have we've been trying to break above a major resistance, a weekly resistance, since for like 2-3 weeks now, if I'm not mistaken. But I think that has a strong hold. So that particular zone have refused to give the market chance to break above, to properly to properly close above the weekly time frame and the weekly resistance. So the last candle actually is kind of forming a bearish pin bar, but this is happening almost at the top of a resistance. So we target as invalid unless we have a break below. Then we start looking for sell to the next support, weekly support level. All right. So what do we have now? And don't mind my moving average you're seeing on the chart. It's just for conference. My trades are not actually based on, my entries are not actually based on the moving average. Just for my what? It's just for conference. So what do we have? We see we are actually trading above the moving average. So that's another conference for me. So what should I be looking for? Actually, we have a trade open on this trade. So I didn't share this particular trade. I didn't share it in my group, but we have a trade open already. So what should we be looking at? We have the market trying to move from this point to this point, right? So what should we be looking at? We should be looking for buys. So how do we do that? Let's scroll down to daily time frame. All right. So now pound CHF on a daily time frame, you can see I actually have that trade you're talking about. I have it open when we break above this minor trend line here. Because if you scroll down to lower time frame, you're going to see it better. All right. So I took that trade, but as you all know, the market always moves in zigzag, right? We have a push above, so we are expecting a retest, probably inside the zone. We look for our entry, then we take our buys to the upside. Probably if the market give us more entries, we can actually have something like this, and we'll start taking the buys, probably to take another one here. All right, so that's how we're going to be looking at the market for the week. So the first buys we're going to be taking is going to be in this zone. That's what I mean by that is the first buy we're going to be taking together, because I already have a buy on this particular pair. So pound CHF on a 4-hour time frame, as you can see, with this formation here, we can have the market close. In fact, we can have the market open inside the zone. Yeah, you got it. So anyhow the market open, we're going to follow it like that. What we just do is we react to what the market is telling us. All right, so wait for the market to pull down to this point. We look for entry. Actually, I have this stuff here, this one here, because I was expecting the market to actually break without retesting, but I think that's not the case. So what we'll be looking at now is we'll be putting our buying tools here, right? Then wait for the market to do its thing, come back into this place, give us candlestick formation, then we click the buy button straight to the upside. All right, so that's it. Probably, let me put it this way. So if we have the drop into our POI, they're going to look for confirmation. Now you need to join that my Telegram channel, because that's where I always drop my signal. In fact, that's where I call out the trades. Okay. So we wait for the market to pull down to this zone, then we look for buying opportunities from the zone, and we take it to the upside. All right, that's if the market permits. Okay, so I'm also going to take a second position on this trade from here. Then when we have our entry, more entry, maybe probably around here, we still look for entry to the upside. All right, so that's what we'll be looking at for pound CHF for the week. Okay, so what do we do next? We move over to the next pair, which is we have pounds USD, the British pounds against US dollar. All right, I love the pounds pairs, honestly. So what are we looking at here? If you remember my last weekly review, if it's not last week, to be last 2 weeks, right? I said what I will be looking at is I expect the market to pull back to this point, retest, then we'll start looking for buying opportunities here to the upside, or the market can actually give us a deep retracement drop, then we start looking for a buy, because the market is still overall bullish. I said it, you heard it from me, it's still overall bullish, right? So what are we going to be doing right now? Let's start from weekly time frame, because that's how we do it. Now on the weekly time frame, as you can see, I can see the market pushing to the upside. It might not even give us a retracement back to this point, but back to this point, based on what I'm seeing. Back to this point based on what I'm seeing right now. Okay, now look closely. We see that the weekly time frame inside our strong support, weekly support, we have a candlestick formation here. We have a candlestick formation. Firstly, this formation is actually what we call a morning star candle formation. Now anytime you see this candle on higher time frame, know that the trend, in fact the market is about to change direction. Right now we've been moving. The market has been, if you scroll down, if we move lower to daily time frame, you see that the market has been in a minor downtrend within the weekly zone, right? So now what do we have? We now have a morning star candle formation forming on a weekly time frame. That's an indication that the market will pull below and we continue to buy to the upside. Now how do we take the buys? All right, so we're looking for retracements on daily time frame. Now on a daily time frame, I already have my zone plotted. How we plot that, you can get it on my YouTube channel. So now we have this. Now what I'm expecting now is I'm expecting maybe a little push up, retrace and we buy. But anyhow, we're going to have what, a pullback to this point. All right, then we look for buys to the upside. Okay, so except we have something like this, the next can the when the opening candle, when the new candle, when the market opens and we have a new candle formation, we might have a candle that will just daily candle that will just close below here and the market will drop back to here. But even if we have that, we still look for buys from here because the market is still looking overall bearish and overall bullish. So we look for entry in this zone if the market didn't give us the entry in this place. So we have to wait for it to drop back to this point. Now we're going to be having something we call double bottom from here, right? So that we can actually take the market to the upside. But either way, we react to what the market is showing us. So what should we be looking at? Firstly, we'll be looking for the market to react from this point, then we buy. But if it doesn't, then we'll be looking for this point. All right, so that's my bias on pound USD. So how are we going to take this buy? Let's scroll down to 4-hour time frame. Like you can see, I have my position tools ready. Right, we already broken above the trend line on 4-hour time frame. So what should we do? We wait for the market to retrace back to this point, then we buy. So I'm active. So let's just see how it's going to be. And if we don't see that reaction from here, we might see it from here. But whichever way, we're going to have that, and we're going to follow the buys to the upside. So pound CHF buy, pound USD buy. Now the next trade is we're going to be looking at pounds card, the British pounds against Canadian dollar. Now we also have a trade. This one is actually a trade we took from last like 2 weeks or now, if I'm not mistaken. That's how many weeks. Let's go to weekly time frame. I've been holding this trade for okay, I've been holding it for like 2 weeks now because I took the trade from this candle here, this black candle here. When it retraced back to this point, that was when I took the trade, and that week closes. Then we have a bullish engulfing candle on the weekly time frame that closes last week. That's this last week candle. So now what do? We already have a clear break above, which I already have a position open. In fact, we already have a position open because I dropped this trade in my Telegram channel. So we have let's go down to daily time frame. Now on the daily time frame, we already broken a daily structure, right? We already have a push above, drop, push above, so we expect another drop. That's a retracement. Then we look for buys in this point. We buy to the overall target, which is the weekly resistance. So how do we take the buys? Pound card is looking very sweet, let me say very juicy, you know. So scrolling down to 4-hour time frame, let's take our buys. Now on a daily time frame, what we're going to be looking at, actually we have a minor 4-hour zone here, which have actually been broken, and I'm seeing something like engulfing 4 hours, the engulfing candle there. But even at that, we might still have the market pull back to this point. Then we look for entry here, we buy to the upside. All right, now you should understand that the other trades which we took, which is pounds CHF is already I've not moved my SL to entry on this trade, so it's still not risk free, it's active. Why pounds card, we already moved SL to entry. All right, so we have our this thing here in case the market wants to do his own thing and change direction, because the market is 50-50, so we have to protect our capital. So this particular trade is actually risk free. So wait for the market to pull back to this point, then I look for entry, then we'll buy to the upside. So make sure you are active. Okay, so the next pair we're going to be looking at is pounds AUD. Now pounds AUD on a weekly time frame. Pounds AUD on a weekly time frame. What do we have? Just as analyzed, pounds AUD already hit our weekly resistance, because we predicted this market from this point and we said it's going to go to at least this point 1.94000, right? So if you go to the YouTube and check our videos, the weekly review we did about 2, 3, 4 or 5 weeks ago, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 5 weeks ago, I said it. So we already hit target, but honestly we didn't have any trade on this pair. It didn't give us any entry, all the retracements, and I didn't catch any of it. It's a miss entry, both the first and the second one. Actually, the first trade hit SL, the second trade miss, third trade miss, but we're still looking to buy. All right, so on a weekly time frame, on a weekly time frame, we see that the market is already at our target level. So this is not a serious trade for me. And then going down to daily time frame, now because we know that the market always push exhaustion, push retrace, and then we have another push to the upside. So what should we be looking at? We're going to be looking at to take a buy from this point back to this point. All right, so what do? We scroll down to weekly daily and 4-hour time frame. That's if the market is going to give us opportunity to buy, because we already missed like 2 trades. I already removed the this thing because that follows for last month. So this is a new month. So what we'll be looking at, we look for the market to pull back to this point, then we look for entry and we'll buy to the upside if given the opportunity to follow the trend. All right, so we're going to be watching for a reaction in this our daily PO high here. All right, so that's all for pounds AUD. We wait for the market to pull below, we look for entry, and we buy to the upside. Okay, so pounds NZD, pounds NZD, pounds NZD on a weekly time frame. This one actually have not given us entry also. No entry, nothing. So just sitting on our ends, we're watching and waiting for the market to give us entry. We are not rushing any trade, we trade what we see. All right, so now on a weekly time frame, pounds SZD already giving us a break above this neckline. Now what I mean by the neckline is this is a double bottom, right? And we've gotten a break above it, and that's also a weekly resistance that just got broken. So we expect the broken resistance to become a support to support the market and start pushing to the next resistance level. All right, around 2.45000. Right, I'm not mistaken. Let me scroll back to the back side. All right, at least we should be heading there. Okay, so what do? We head down to daily time frame to put more meaning into what we're seeing on a weekly time frame, right? So pounds NZD on a daily time frame, you can see now what I'm waiting for is I need a deeper retracement into this zone here before we take the buy, right? So on a 4-hour time frame, we have this. So what am I looking for on a 4-hour time frame on pounds NZD? I wait for the market to pull below here, give us candlestick confirmation, and we enter with our full shares, targeting the overall target. Don't forget we are swing traders. I swing the market. All right, so that's for pounds NZD. So we look forward buying opportunities to the upside. Okay, so pounds JPY on a weekly time frame, pounds JPY on a weekly time frame. What do we have now? Pounds JPY on the weekly time frame, we already have I was expecting a sell, but that was last month. I was expecting it. That's one of the SL we took last month. All right, so the market actually changed direction, so we expect more push to the upside. All right, so now what we're going to be looking at is let's go to daily time frame for more meaning. Now, last week I thought we were going to have an entry to the upside, but the market has been dancing around, just tapping, 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 tapping. So I doubt, with all this candlestick confirmation I'm seeing here, all this rejection on this line, I doubt if pounds JPY will give us, will retrace back to this point and give us entry to the upside. I doubt, but if it does, then we'll wait for the market to pull down to this point, give us candlestick confirmation. We enter from there and we target our overall weekly target. All right, you know how we do it. Weekly target, we target here. So that's what we're going to be having for pounds JPY. Now, if the market came back here, we buy, but if it doesn't, we wait for a break above this yellow zone, retest, and we buy. All right, so that's what we're going to be looking at on pounds JPY for this coming week. Okay, so the last pair on our list is gold. I have a gold trade. I have a trade on gold which I took around here, and it's been pumping. So we might have a retracement back to this point if possible, then we move above. But I know this 4 hours zone is going to be holding it. So but if it's if gold actually break below it, then we should be heading back to this point. Then we start looking for more buying opportunities to the upside, because gold have actually changed direction. Now let's go to weekly time frame and see why we are buying gold. Now, gold on the weekly time frame, you can see we have gold has been pushing, then we have a retrace, a little push to the upside, and it break above it broke below this our support level. Now what do we expect? When we have a break below, we have a drop to give us a new lower low, then we need gold to retrace and give us what, a new lower high before we anticipate a new lower low, right? So that's just the logic in why we are buying gold. Now, based on our previous analysis, now let's check the last candle that closes, which is last week candle. We have this a bearish engulfing candle, because if you check out, you see that this last week candle actually engulfed the previous candle here, right? It engulfs the body. Can you see that? So that's a bullish indication. That's a bullish indication that the market is heading to the upside, probably to this point around let me use my around this point. That's $4,477 per ounce. Abi, how they call it? So let's proceed. Now we have a bullish engulfing candle on the weekly time frame. So let's head down to daily time frame and put more meaning to it. Now, as you can see on the daily time frame, like I said, we might have a drop. We might have a drop here, then we push to the upside, which other way, or we might have something like this, push, drop. You understand? So anything goes wants to do, we are ready. Now, actually, this trade is also risk free. So after we break daily structure to the upside, I move my SL to break even. Okay, so I'm anticipating more push to the upside on gold. So how do we take gold? If we can have a retracement back to this zone, we're going to be adding more position based on confirmation, candlestick confirmation, right? And target is going to still be where overall target, our overall weekly target here. All right, so gold, I'm expecting a pullback to this yellow zone. Do your thing, but don't take me out. And move to the upside. So that's all we have for the week. I think I just wish you guys the best of everything in this month, right? Have a profitable week, or let me say, have a profitable month ahead. All right, so see you guys soon. Peace.